in New Orleans, this time in Algiers, again with Malik Rahim. Malik, what is today?
Today is our 1-year anniversary.
A lot has happened in 1 year.
Oh yes, oh yes. In 1 year we have been able to provide either direct or indirect services to over 500,000 people.
500,000 people, and there was no organization before Katrina? There was no Common Grounds before that?
No. Common Ground is the aftermath of Katrina. It's 1 week after Katrina. We found the Common Ground. And in 1 year, we have served over 100,000 people in direct services and another easy 400,000 in indirect services. And by indirect services, I mean a mother coming to our location to get food for her family, a faith-based institution that is now operating, a community center that is now functioning, organizations that thought they was down and out, and communities. Because when you look at what's happening in the Ninth Ward, it wouldn't have been happening when it did if it wasn't for the heroic efforts of Brandon Darby and Justin Knight. They made that happen. So in a year, we have done it.
So reaching deep down inside, why is this work? There's people all over the world who are trying to care for people and help people, and they can't buy people to do that.
Well, one of the things that we have to do, we have to start thinking outside the block, outside that box. We have to stop worrying about what the government can do and start reaching out to those that really matter, and that's those who really stand for peace and justice. And by that I mean those who really matter, those who you know that will support you if they know about you and if they see that you are truly trying to uplift yourself. We've done what we did in spite of government help. Not with government help, but in spite of it. In spite of not having, we was able to accomplish this. I just think what we could do if we would all start working together.
And the health clinic that's here in Algiers is now a permanent health clinic. It was something that's a stopgap during disaster.
We have 2 permanent health clinics. We have a mobile health clinic that is permanent. We're looking at now trying to not start another health clinic, but a hospital. How can we truly meet the need of those who have been traditionally, live without any form of health coverage?
Is there an empty hospital that needs to be rejuvenated in this area?
Well, there's some, but I'm not truly interested in building at somebody else's sorrow. If we're going to start a hospital, then we need to start our own. We need to build it from scratch. And that's doing everything.
Even 1 year after all this help and all the success, one of the problems that I've been hearing a lot about is water. It's clean water. It's water for the volunteers who are out there in hazmat outfits. It's water for the people who come to Jesus every day.
That's the crime. That is the crime of our elected officials. There's no reason for this, not in America. There's no reason for an organization, any organization, to do what the government should be doing. If you don't want to give people the basic supplies to go back and rebuild their lives, you can't tell me that you give a damn about these people.
It's almost unheard.
I mean, listen, this is the part of it that continue to be criminal. It shouldn't be that in sections of the city where there's a ration on clean and drinkable water, that the government shouldn't have a truck there 24 hours a day. I mean, what would that do to the economy? Would that break New Orleans? You know, would that break America? You know? I mean, I wonder if it was a reversal and it wasn't just poor blacks that needed it. You know, I wonder if it was whites. You know, would it be?
Yeah, if there was
would it be like St. Bernard Parish or Plaquemine Parish or Mississippi?
Yeah, if there was like a hurricane in Florida, yeah, the Red Cross would be out there every day handing out water.
That's right. That's right. The need is so great. You know, I mean, if we would do half, if we would have spent, we don't help to 500,000 people, and we have yet to break the $1 million mark. We need to get $60,000. So whoever watching it, we need $60,000 to break the $1 million mark. You know, but for that $1 million that we have, that's $940,000 that we have raised so far in 1 year. We have helped 100,000 people in direct services and another 400 in indirect services. Now you tell me that's not cost effective? And have done this with an all-volunteer organization. All volunteer. And supplies, if you would add the supplies that have came from people who made a stand of peace and justice, we're talking about somewhere in the neighborhood of maybe $60 million in supplies that we have been able to distribute, you know. And again, we have done this with our volunteer organization. 8,000, over 8,000 people. Now, if you would add the man hours, and what the federal government say is a volunteer, should be a volunteer salary, and that's $15 an hour. Look at how much money we're going to save this state. Look how much money we're going to save this government.
So what's the future hold? What is your hope for the future for
to rebuild? We're going to rebuild. We're going to rebuild a New Orleans that's going to be greater and better than the old one. We're going to build one that's based upon peace and justice, and one that opportunities is not just afforded to the rich and the well-connected, but will be afforded to all. You know, and I'll tell you what, if nobody else do nothing else this year, why don't you get some of them paper towels so I can clean that up. We're gonna make sure that what happened in Jefferson Parish, we're gonna expose that to the world.
Jefferson Parish?
That's right. Jefferson Parish is like a county in most of the rest of America. And during the aftermath of Katrina, they would not allow blacks to go into that parish. And they didn't make no distinction on black adults. They made it no blacks allowed. You know, so I mean, many individuals that was fleeing for their lives, you know, was denied safety there because it wasn't flooded. You know, it wasn't flooded. If we would have just, if they would open their borders, you know, then we could have kept everyone that had to evacuate during the aftermath of Katrina. We could have kept them here in the city.